Good afternoon, everybody. Could you move inside the tent, please? Thank you for coming today. We were promised sun, and evidently it decided not to come. So please get near the heaters if you could, and come inside the tent. This is so exciting. I tell you, this is probably one of the most exciting days for me in 4 years. 4 years ago, I came on board with PCRS, and the project was 2 years in the making at that point. And people like Kathy Funk, who's here today in red, and Tom Hetherington from PCRS, Mel Falkman, and many others were actively involved in seeing this project come to reality. And here we are today, groundbreaking. How exciting. So, without much ado, I'm going to introduce you to our speakers today. We have, to start today, MLA John Laz. I tried to get secrets about these guys. Do you know their secretaries tell you nothing? They're so terrified. I said, could you tell me something personal about John Laz? She said, like what? No. I said, just something, not the stuff that's on his website. Everybody knows that. And she said, I said, does he still climb the mountains? She said, don't say that. So, okay, I won't say that then. And then she said, but I can tell you he's a gardener, and he's an avid gardener. And I said, whoa, John, I got a job for you. When you retire, you can do the gardens at the back of the contact center. So I heard he picked a cabbage from his garden 2 weeks ago. Last week. So any of you who passing John Laz's house and would like a cabbage? I'm kidding, John. The thing that I noticed about the speakers today that is so amazing, every single one of them have tenacity. John has been a public servant for 30 years, right, John? I mean, that's a long time. I don't know about you, but that is a tenacious characteristic. And so I think that this project is an outcome of tenacious people. People who believed in the vision, people who stuck with the vision. When it died, and I called Tom Hetherington and cried, and then it came alive again. It's people like John Laz and all of you who've made this possible. So I'd like to thank you all for coming, people who've been involved with the project directly. Ingrid Castens, our executive director, our board of directors from PCRS, the city mayor from City Hall, BC Housing, the Real Estate Foundation, Fraser Health. Every one of you have made this possible. And so today, thank you for coming. People like Miro, who've stayed on to be here, thank you for sweeping the cigarette butts away. We do appreciate it. And for everybody, thank you. And so without much ado, I'm going to introduce John Laz to you.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Yes, it's been 30 years, and now it's only about 90 sleeps. But I was wondering whether this was actually going to happen in my term of office, and I'm sure delighted that it has happened, at least that we're now in a position to start construction. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my delight to be here. The Premier couldn't be here. Minister Coleman couldn't be here, so you'll have to make do with me. But on behalf of the provincial government, I want to congratulate everybody who's been involved in this very important project in Chilliwack, the Chilliwack Health and Housing Contact Centre, with its 22 supportive housing apartments and the health services that will be provided here, is a very, very important new component, or will be a very important new component in our community. As we deal with people who, for whatever reason, have kind of fallen out of the mainstream and find themselves in very disadvantageous circumstances. In Chilliwack, I think we're putting together some really good building blocks to assist in those cases. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are very familiar with Ruth and Naomi's. that was brought to life in Chilliwack over the last couple of years. Again, tremendous community support and community spirit. This too has had significant support and partnership from the community. Several agencies have been involved. I'm just going to have a look here, just in case I would forget somebody. There are several of them. Of course, the City of Chilliwack, Fraser Health, the Real Estate Foundation of British Columbia, and of course, most importantly, the Pacific Community Resources Society. The provincial government was pleased through BC Housing to assist in the acquisition of this property with some $3.4 million for the acquisition and the renovations, plus $230,000 annually that will be made available for the running of the residential part of this project. So a very significant contribution by the provincial government, but although it may be the largest single contribution, I certainly want to congratulate the city and the Real Estate Foundation for the contributions that they have made, as well as PCRS, because those two are significant contributions and a real signal of the support of the broader community for this kind of project. So I'm really looking forward to this renovation project. It's a significant renovation. These last several years, while the building has been sitting empty, have not been kind to the building, as is quite often the case. But I'm sure that once the renos are complete, it'll enjoy a new start in its life as an important contribution to social caring in our community. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, John. You know, they say it takes a village, right? I think it takes a city with a heart, and Chilliwack is a city with a heart. Our mayor in Chilliwack is one of those people who has a heart for projects like this. She occasionally sends me emails to my personal email box and says, "Would you help with this?" And it's because she has a heart. And she's been a mayor for 4 years, if I know correctly, and 12 years as city councillor, and she's been with us right from the beginning. I'm excited to see Sherry Mumford here. Ah, welcome, Sherry. Nice to have you. So without much ado, I'm going to introduce our mayor to you, and she will have a lot to tell us.
Thank you. Thanks, Leanne. Well, I got to tell you, I am so happy that this day has finally arrived. Everyone has been asking me in the city, when is it going to happen? And this day is to signal it starts today. It starts today. Now, having said that, there's a whole lot of work that has gone into planning and working on this particular project. And I want to start, first of all, because I remember a very cold winter day when we had Minister Coleman come into our offices to talk to him about this particular project. And I remember the stern look on his face, and I remember the arm wrestling that went around the table. And I remember him asking very clearly, and what is the city going to put on the table? And the city was able to say, well, okay, we'll take that to council. So first of all, I want to be able to acknowledge the council members who are here from that day. Oh, wait, there's only one, Pat Clark. Hello. It's fantastic. But I would be remiss if I did not say that Mel Folkman and Diane Jansen were absolutely instrumental in making this happen for today. I see we have some city councilors here that are currently serving. City Councilor Stuart McLean is sitting right beside Jason Lum. Jason, yeah. And in the back, Ken Popoff. So Ken. And I know that Chris Crossman would never want me to acknowledge him, but he's our new Deputy CAO, so you may want to talk to him and get to meet him in the back. And I know that it was a passion of council's. I'm really glad that Leanne talked about Chilliwack being a caring community right at the beginning, because that's how I wanted to start my speech. I'm just so proud of our town for coming together. I look here and see the faces, and I can identify most of you and the contribution that you make to people who are disadvantaged or marginalized in our community. You're people who have given your life. You know, we sat around a table to negotiate this, but you're on the streets all the time, and you know the kind of people that need the help that this center will provide. We met together some time ago to do a plan for the city, and we met together, it was called the Chilliwack's Healthier Community Strategic Plan in 2009. There were 75 different people, stakeholders, and organizations that met together to talk about what a healthier community would look like. And the main areas of concern were actually identified in 2007 by the BIA and by the merchants downtown, who were saying, we're seeing a bit of social disintegration downtown. People aren't being able to get the services that they need for whatever reason, and we need to figure out what that's all about. So we met together with these stakeholders and we came up with a plan, and we identified that the key issues in Chilliwack as far as social issues were no different than anywhere else. We had people that needed services for mental health, we had people that needed services for drug addiction, and we needed services for people that needed housing. And this project that we're putting forward to the community has every one of those components, and I'm just so pleased that we were able to sit around a table with all those partners and come up with something that works. Now, what looks really easy on paper is sometimes not easy in practicalities, because we needed all of these organizations to be able to say how much time they were going to give when the operations happened, where their offices would be, would they have an office, would they support the housing. We had to go through all of those very many details. And so I want to say that there was one consistent person in this entire process that will not acknowledge herself today, but I would like you to put your hands together for Leanne Hansen from PCRS. Leanne started with the project, and she was assisted by members of Fraser Health, BC Housing, Community Services, Community Policing, physicians from the Division of Family Practice, Stalo Nation, and Salvation Army. And as everyone pulled together, Leanne alluded to the part when the project almost went off the rails. Kind of thought it was a little bit like CPR. We did a whole lot of CPR, and we gnashed our teeth, and we got her done, girl. We got her done. It was just fantastic to see. I want to express my deep appreciation to our staff, first of all, and Karen, I know that you wouldn't want to be in any way recognized, but Karen, thank you. You were here too, yeah. And Karen never gave up. In the times when we'd all be frustrated, she just came in with her calm way and asked everyone again what you're willing to contribute to this particular project. It's beneficial for the entire city. I need you really to think about that. We did it with 75 people, stakeholders. I love her calmness and the way that she was able to make people who were frustrated sometimes during the process, with process and long meetings and long hours, come together to understand this is really for the good of our community. I would be remiss as well if I did not really take this moment to thank Fraser Health. Man, you guys, you bent over backwards. I know you didn't know how many resources you would have to put into this, but you came through, and I thank you. And I thank you also for your promise that you will monitor this, and you will make sure that it is adequately staffed and that the kind of help that people need, they will get. Thank you for doing that. Thank you, Keith, for your leadership with the RCMP as well. We just really look forward to working with the RCMP on this. And I want to just end by saying, this was a whole lot of collaboration. At times it was messy. I remember John Les telling me once, everybody enjoys sausage. No one enjoys watching it being made. And I think... I think truer words were never spoken. Today we have beautiful sausage about to be cooked. All the ingredients are together. And we just want to say we are going to become even healthier as a community, thanks to each one of you that are gathered here today. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mayor Gates. So now we have the sausage and the cabbage, right? So we have the meal, right? We're Mennonites, they say. You know, without Fraser Health and BC Housing, the city, and all of you, this would not have happened. And I really want to acknowledge Diane Miller today. She was there from the beginning, and I'm sad to tell you she's not here today, but we miss her. So when you talk to her, Andy and Gordon, when you email her, tell her we miss her, right? She has been a voice for this project, and we appreciate that. So my next person to introduce to you is Andy Lippitter. He is the assistant, now I've got to look on my notes, Andy, acting executive director of Mental Health and Substance Use Services. Please note they keep changing the name. Every time I used to go to a meeting with Sherry, she'd say, it's this. Now you've got to use this new acronym. Don't they know when you get over 50, it's harder to remember all those things? So now we use Substance Use Services. That's the politically correct word, right? So without further, I'm going to introduce you Andy Lippitter.
Thank you, Leanne, and welcome. Thank you, everyone. I think despite the acronyms, what we really all are is sausage makers at the end of the day. So it gives me great pleasure to join you in this celebration and to bring greetings on behalf of Fraser Health's board and executive. For us in Fraser Health, this is an exciting day for many reasons. Not only do we gather to celebrate the beginnings of a new care facility that will have a profound impact on our vulnerable population who are either homeless excuse me, or at risk of homelessness, but we also celebrate another step forward in the shaping of our network of care to best serve those individuals who need our support. As BC's largest and fastest growing health authority, we have a bold vision: better health, best in healthcare. To keep stride with that vision, we know that it is important to continually seek opportunities to strengthen our network of services to ensure we're providing the best level of care possible. One of the single largest challenges we face in a modern society is homelessness. As we know, the cost to both individuals and society in general is very high. It's an area which needs and is deserving of our collective attention, and through evidence and experience, we do know what works. The evidence is clear that effective treatment for homeless people or those at risk requires comprehensive, integrated, and client-centered services, as well as stable and affordable housing. As healthcare providers, we know that we must not only provide a roof over their heads, but also offer care and supports in settings where they feel safe and comfortable. The Chilliwack Contact Centre is an excellent example of just that, and we are grateful and proud to be among the many partners who are making significant contributions to make this centre possible. We believe it will be a valuable opportunity to provide multiple resources from one location to a very vulnerable population, something that Chilliwack has needed for a long time. In particular, the 22 units of supported housing will fill a critical gap in our local mental health housing continuum. We know the way and where we provide care and support does make a difference for this population, who for many reasons are not comfortable going to traditional healthcare centres. We are committed to reducing barriers to care for this often marginalised and hard-to-reach population. The most recent examples of this commitment are the New Westminster and Tri-Cities Assertive Case Treatment Programme, or ACT, which just opened this month, and the Surrey ACT programme that opened a year ago. These services are focused on supporting men and women struggling with mental health and substance use issues who have coexisting problems, such as homelessness, and who traditionally don't access standard services. The key component of this service is that 75% of the support is provided in community settings that are comfortable and convenient for those individuals, such as residences, shelters, drop-in centres, or parks. We know that an outreach approach to care works for this population, and because of the contact centre, once again we will be able to provide services outside of the walls of mental health and substance use centres, and in a community setting more conducive to meeting the needs of these vulnerable individuals. Our commitment to the centre includes supports for both the health-related services and the housing component, as well as the $25,000 per year for a 3-year period to support the least cost of the centre. Fraser Health's primary care programme, which was led by Diane Miller, will provide a nurse practitioner, physician support, and a medical office assistant at the centre. Services and supports from our mental health and substance use program include $33,000 for rental supplements for the housing component, an ongoing $467,000 annual contract with Pacific Community Resources Society to provide outpatient addiction support, on-site support when needed from the Riverstone Home and Mobile Detox Outreach Worker, regular support at the centre from a mental health case manager 2 half-days a week and through a monthly psychiatrist session, and availability for outreach, crisis assessment and intervention at the centre through our Fraser Health Mental Health RCMP liaison service. As well, the residents of the supported housing units as clients of the Mental Health Centre will be eligible for the full range of mental health services and supports available through our regular centre. We look forward to the contact centre opening and the new opportunities to improve the health of residents and assist them in achieving the best possible quality of life in Chilliwack. On behalf of Fraser Health's board and executive, our mental health substance use clients who will benefit from the contact centre and their families, I would like to express sincere appreciation to our partners and our Fraser Health leads who have moved this important project towards reality. I would like to thank the provincial government, BC Housing, the City of Chilliwack, the Real Estate Foundation of BC, and of course PCRS for this partnership opportunity. When the doors of the new facility open in the summer of this year, many vulnerable individuals will have ready access to specialised, compassionate support and ultimately new hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I was just thinking about the 111 homeless people that were counted a year ago and how cold I am. And I don't know about you. So to be homeless and out in this kind of weather is unbelievably tragic to me. And to think that we have a center that's going to offer them not only services that Andy talked about, but a warm place to go into. I think that is amazing. And so thank you again to Andy and Fraser Health. And now I'd like to introduce you to, I'm just looking at my notes, sorry, over 50. Cynthia. Cynthia Admiral is the president of the Chilliwack and District Real Estate Foundation. Did I get that right? State Board. Oh, so sorry. They were one of the generous funders to this project, and we are very happy to have them on board. I know I keep getting notes, and my boss keeps telling me to answer them. What have you done with the money? And I keep saying, nothing. And then I send it back to our finance department. I say, is the money there? He said, yes. I said, have we done anything with the money? No. They keep saying, will you spend that money, please? So nobody tells me normally to spend money. The Real Estate Foundation does. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Cynthia to you.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of the Real Estate Foundation of British Columbia, and I would like to congratulate Pacific Community Resources and all your partners. We're very happy to see that renovations are getting underway, and there is such a strong need for this project and great community support. Back in 2010, when the Foundation made its grant to assist with the housing piece of this project, the Board of Governors was impressed with a level of real buy-in to meeting local housing and support needs. One of the things that boosted the Foundation's confidence that the overall project would be a success with the City of Chilliwack's substantial financial commitment. As the only foundation in BC dedicated to land use and Real Estate Foundation, governors and staff have learned that the most effective projects are the ones where strong partnerships make it happen. This project is an excellent example of organizations from different sectors working toward a common goal and a shared solution. Once again, congratulations and best wishes to Pacific Community Resources and all your partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. And last but not least, Dr. Bill McMichael. He is the Vice President of Pacific Community Resources Society. And the thing that I think that I can tell you, that I didn't get from his secretary, but that I do know, is that he drives an orange Spitfire that he calls Orange Julius, or Julius for short. So when you see an orange Spitfire turn up here, know that it is Dr. McMichael taking his cruise, right? So I would like to introduce you to Dr. Bill McMichael.
As I bought Julius off from my cousin, who's right back there, hi Wendy, and renamed him, right? Thanks, Leon. I'm delighted to be here as a representative of Pacific Community Resource Services, and I bring you warm greetings from our president, Laura Jameson, who wishes she could be here, but she's out of town. First of all, a statement of disclosure. I am totally biased towards this project. I have a long affinity with Chilliwack. My mother grew up on Mary Street. My Uncle Doug's name is written on the Chilliwack cenotaph. My Uncle Enos and Auntie Frances lived just down the street with Wendy at the corner of Yonge and Airport for over 40 years. And they owned an auto dealership that you might remember, Brett's Limited, which was near Five Corners. You might remember it had a plane on the roof. We always wondered how they got that plane up there. I like here. No matter how much it has changed superficially, which is dramatic, it still feels like home. I do not feel like a stranger at all. I always love coming back to Chilliwack. And Pacific Community Resources Society is proud to be part of an evolutionary leap for healthcare in Chilliwack, and for that matter, in the entire province. As former Councillor Mel Folkman called it, the contact center really is a missing link to be planning to offer fully integrated services in this way. That, of course, was our central vision from the very start, to offer a continuum of care under one roof that integrates health, mental health, addiction, and social services to the area's marginalized and at-risk populations. You've already heard what some of those services are from Mr. Libiter. I might just add one. I'm not sure if you mentioned that we are also offering an employment services and training program for the residents. The people we serve are your neighbors, and so are we. And it's very important for us, and we promise to do this, which is to deliver services that are worthy of the people we serve. We view our clients as unique individuals rather than typecasts, with multiple identities as daughters, fathers, singles, seniors, gays, straights, public, private, Caucasian, Asian, Aboriginal, you name it. There's an endless variety in our clientele. Nobody is the same, so we never take their well-being for granted. They are incredibly important to us. Our clients are the primary agents of social change. They, not us, are the ones who are going to change their worlds. We just want to help them along. And changing the world to make it a better place is what we are all about. To do this takes a human touch that often seems missing in our highly structured, technocratically supercharged society. The technocracy does not handle uniqueness and self-agency very well. And it breaks down for our clients from time to time, causing disruption and despair in their lives. We focus on mitigating that disruption through the intervention of an ethic of care, re-energizing our clients and reconnecting them with the world, while mustering for ourselves all the human respect and dignity they expect for themselves. You see, our version of the golden rule, our zeitgeist, as it were, is to treat others the way they would like to be treated. Our aim is to help improve the quality of their lives and, through them, the lives of the communities that they live in, one person at a time. And our pledge is to provide our clients, your neighbors, with the intercultural sensitivity and support they expect while they rebuild their lives and acquire essential life skills. For us, ours is an evolutionary leap from applied technocracy to social agency, from public policy to private care, whose time has come today. We're extremely grateful to our friends, the Government of Canada, Government of British Columbia, City of Chilliwack, Mayor and Council and staff, Fraser Health, the Chilliwack District Real Estate Board, Van City, and Terra Housing. You know, it only takes a few friends to change the world. Well, there are more than a few of us here today, and I'll bet we're all keen to get started at some of the snacks, and let's get started on get started on changing the world. So, Leanne Hansen, our wonderful lead in this project, says it best. She says everything best. She says, "This is a chance for Chilliwack to show the rest of the Lower Mainland how to do it right." Thank you.
I guess when I'm around Bill, I better keep my mouth shut or take duct tape with me, right? Thank you for coming. This is really amazing to see you all here. But I do want to say a special thank you to someone who has not been mentioned. Tom McMahon. Tom McMahon from Fraser Health was one of the first people I met here. And he works these streets, he walks up and down them and works with people that you and I need to get into this center. And he's the man that I have admired the most in Chilliwack. So my hat off to you, Tom. Thank you. So without further, I would like to welcome you to eat our refreshments we have here, and then I believe BC Housing want a picture with the dignitaries. Thank you.